All right, this is our first ever episode at the lunch table. Today we only got 3 people at the table, but a bunch of people will be rotating in throughout the year. A bunch of different sports. Today we're just doing college football. Tomorrow's Saturday, best Saturday of the year because Big Ten's back, specifically Ohio State. And we're going to get started with that game. So, Joe, you've never been on anything with On the Lake before, so I'll let you go first. You can introduce yourself too if you want.
Little debut. Name's Joey V. We're here from the Sunshine State. And for the OSU Nebraska game, we have a very decisive choice here. Coming in with OSU on the straight up win and definitely OSU minus 26 as well. They're going to come out firing. They're motivated. They're ready to go, especially after last year. I think they're getting the easy win, easy cover on the minus 26. Go Bucks, baby. Here we go.
Yep. Basically the same for me. I've got Ohio State minus 26, over 68. They might just hit 68 by themselves, honestly. I don't know how the defense is going to be this year either. A couple guys out and stuff. So I like the over everything. Buckeyes.
You think over for Spirits? I was thinking about the over, but.
Yeah, no, I love the over. I like the over more than minus 26.5. Nebraska always plays us kind of tough in those like morning, afternoon games. So that's why I don't love the minus 26, but I don't think Nebraska's that good either.
Right. But you think even first game, they're going to come out firing still?
Yeah, just a lot of points today.
Yeah.
Frank?
I have Ohio State, as I think everybody with a brain has Ohio State tomorrow. I did take the over 26-point favorite Ohio State. I would bet on that. Although I am not 100% sold on that just because I do think Ohio State's going to come out and crush them. But, it's also Ohio State doesn't get any cupcakes like they usually do to start off the year. So they can't come out sluggish. But it's also Ohio State, and they dominate the teams they should dominate. So I really think that Ohio State's going to pull away and just enter their way back into that best team in the nation conversation.
This is Ryan Day, not Urban Meyer. Like Urban Meyer, this is a close game with Urban Meyer. Ryan Day, this is a blowout.
I don't care who's coaching. I think it's hard. And I said this earlier when we talked about it, Drew. I don't care who's coaching. I think it's hard for teams just to come out and play conference games right away. I mean, I think it's hard. But obviously, I think it's Ohio State's going to crush them. So
that's fair.
All right, next up, we got number 23, North Carolina State. They're 4-1, facing number 14, UNC. They're 3-1. UNC's 15.5-point favorites, over under 60.5. UNC just kind of got thumped last week, so I like them straight up as a bounce back, but I don't think they're any good. They've been close all year, and NC State's been pretty decent at least. So I think they cover. NC State covers, and I don't like the over under.
Yeah, I think I agree with your point. I don't think UNC is that good. I think they're overrated, and I think NC State's playing pretty good football right now. I do think that North Carolina is going to win this game, but I'm also taking NC State to cover plus 15.5. I think it's going to be a close game down the wire. I think NC State could actually win, but obviously I picked UNC to win this game.
Yeah, basically same page as you guys. UNC straight up. Definitely overrated at the 14 spot though. Definitely NC State plus 15.5. I think that line is definitely high. I think that should be a lot lower. And I also, nobody else took it. I took the over at 60.6. I checked out a few of their prior games. They've been putting up some numbers this year, and none of their defenses are really too strong. So I see Frank smirking over there, but I think that over is definitely going to hit. But you can mark my words on that.
Yeah, no, I don't hate that, Joe.
We will mark your words on that.
Go ahead. It's on here.
Yeah, I'm cool with fading Joe, so I'm almost tempted just to put the under now on my card just because
I respect that. But no. Their games this year, they've been putting up some numbers. So I really think that over's gonna hit. I like the over.
I agree with that. All right, next we got TCU. They're 1-2, and the really underwhelming Oklahoma. They're 2-2. Only 6.5-point favorites at home. Just ridiculous. Over 60. That over is kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just staying away from that. What are you guys thinking on this game?
So
Gotcha.
nobody else had it. I took TCU plus 6.5. Now here's a little reason why I did that. So I did my research on this a little bit. So TCU only lost by 3 to the now 17 ranked Iowa State. Also now tied first in the Big 12. And Oklahoma lost to ISU by 7. Now they also lost to Kansas State, who is also tied first in the Big 12 by 7, only 7. And they beat Texas, who Oklahoma barely edged out in overtime last week.
You're overthinking it.
I may be.
Absolutely.
I may be,
Absolutely.
but I also may not be. I really think TCU is going to come out and cover that. I think it's going to be a close game, and they might even go straight up. But I think they're going to lose by about 3 or 4, and I think they're going to cover that.
Well, you're going to take them plus 6.5. You're not going to take them straight up. Too scared?
Oh, I'm too scared to take them straight up. Absolutely.
But he did all that research and take
My
him
research ain't
6.5.
that good. Come on now. First time.
I like Oklahoma's looking a little better on offense. Defense looks horrible. That's Spencer Rattler. I don't like that dude. He just seems like such like a cocky, like arrogant guy who's just not that great. Very overrated.
I agree. He's nothing special.
Look, research can only get you so far, Joe. But
Absolutely.
I think Oklahoma's ranked pretty high to start the year. I think obviously they're not playing their best football right now. I think it starts Saturday, honestly. 1-2 TCU team, and I really don't care what the score of the TCU Texas game was, because if you look at Texas, they're losing to bad teams too. And
TCU
I think
stinks too.
What'd you say?
TCU just stinks, anyways.
Yeah. So I really don't think. I think I look at this game and I see Oklahoma, and I see whatever money 6.5. I'm gonna win my money, because I really think Oklahoma is gonna dominate this game, and they're gonna pick it up.
They're dominated. They may win. They may cover that.
I think they're gonna dominate. They're gonna dominate.
Dominate?
Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, you might
Well,
you might not like the dude, Drew, but like they have a quarterback. They do have a quarterback. He's cocky, and maybe not that good, but it's still a quarterback. And this TCU team's 1-2. I just don't see how Oklahoma loses another bad game. And I think Oklahoma gets hot too. I think they get hot. I mean, Joe, you're going off research basis. It's all about matchups. You said that they lost to Texas by 3.
I'm going against research. Matchups that
teams, so they matched up good with
Oklahoma.
Texas. Doesn't mean they match up good with the same team. Doesn't mean they match up good with Oklahoma. It's a completely different team.
That, but you gotta look at the same teams they played sometimes, and that gives a little idea of what's going to happen.
Not really. They can have a different game plan.
To me, it does. I think TCU is gonna. I think this is gonna be a close one.
I disagree 100%. Like I just don't.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma's just too fast.
Yeah. I mean, it's TCU 1-2. I mean, it's not like this is a good team.
Yeah, but
it's
not
like NC State.
It's like little cakewalk teams. I mean, they're playing decent teams here, like solid team, ranked teams here.
I don't know.
I think Oklahoma. They may not just. The scoreboard might not show how much they dominate this game, but I think they win and they dominate the game itself.
The scoreboard's what matters, though.
I said they win, they cover, and they dominate the game.
You said the scoreboard may not show it, but the scoreboard is what you're betting on.
And they dominate the game, and I said they cover, so yes,
they dominate the game, and TCU can still cover that.
We're not going to cover that.
That's enough for this one.
That's stupid.
I love this. The you two. I like being the one that's just sitting here calm and collected, and you two are just going right at it.
I know you're on my side, Drew. I know you're on my side.
I am, but I just want to get going at it. That's great.
All right, go ahead.
Next we got Temple. They're 1-1.
Texas Christian.
We got Memphis, who's 2-1. Memphis had a big win last week. Huge come from behind against UCF. They're 13.5-point favorites this week. Over under 69.5. Every single week they have an over under like near 70. They just put up points. What do you guys think, Joe?
So after that heated argument, I love Memphis straight up, but Temple plus 13.5. I think Memphis D is not that strong. Temple's QB has been showing he's got some stuff. I think he's really going to break out this week. I think Temple will easily cover that. I think it's going to be a one-score game. And I opposed you on that over-under. I think it could go either way, really. But I like the over based on their prior scores this year, but we'll see what happens.
I
Frank?
think this is a game. I think this is a game where betting wise, I'd probably stay away. The only thing I would bet would be the over under, and I'm actually with you, Drew. I'd probably go under. I'm
You
also
said
taking.
over.
I
No,
said
I
I'd stay away from this betting.
On
Like
the
if I was
sheet?
betting, I would stay away from this game. I
He's gotta
did
make
say
a
over,
pick,
but I've changed my mind. However, I have decided to go. I would take the under.
Or you're changing.
You're changing.
Yeah, I am. I am changing.
That's
Okay.
smart.
I
You're
am
fading
taking.
Joey.
I'm taking. I was with Joe, and then I thought about it, and I think Memphis is going to score the ball. Like Joey did say, I think Timbo doesn't have it. Or Memphis's defense, I forgot who said it isn't that good.
Yeah, I said Memphis D is no good.
Yeah, they're not that good, but I just don't see Temple scoring that many points, and I think it gets to a certain time in the game where Memphis just runs clock and tries not to score, and I don't know. I mean, I would stay away from this game betting wise. I'd probably go Memphis minus 13.5, but I would take the under, but I would stay away from it. I'm not 100% sure, but I am taking Memphis to win the game.
No, yeah, I took that over, but I would definitely stay away from the over under because, like Drew, I think Drew said it was around. They've been around 70, right? That's what most of them were set at. Yeah, so there's no point to bet that 69.5. Yeah, so
No, I like that. I like Memphis just straight up, but I think they're gonna have like this is a look over game, and I think Temple isn't that bad. They've played two pretty close games, honestly. They had a bad loss to Navy where they were just destroying them until like the fourth quarter. So I think they're gonna do enough just to hold Memphis in check. I think Memphis just looks over this game. They get the win, but Temple covers, and I like the under because I think Temple just keeps it close. If Memphis wins, I think the over does hit though. So
that's fair.
That's all I got on that one. All right. Not a lot of disagreeing there. Big one here. We got number 2 Bama. They're undefeated, 21.5-point favorites. They're going down to Rocky Top, Tennessee. Vols are 2-2, over under 65. Frank, you look excited about this one.
Well, I wanted to go first because I'm going last on the next one, but I'm taking. I'm rolling with Bama. I watched that Ole Miss game last week, and I was very impressed of how they just turned it on.
Game or the Ole Miss one?
Was it Georgia? I'm sorry, it was Georgia. You're correct. Yeah, I think it was a 7-point game at one point, Drew. And they just put it into that other gear that Bama does.
Once that safety, like Jordan Battle came back in the second half.
Yeah. I'm taking Bama. I'm also taking. I thought about this hard. I'm taking the over on this game. I think that I think Bama's going to put up a lot of points, but I also think Tennessee is going to be in the 20s range. So I'm thinking like a kind of like a 42-28 final score for me. But yeah, I'm taking Bama and the over on this game.
I like that. Joe, what you feel?
Yeah, no, I love the over. I think I saw a stat. Bama's averaging 48 points right now. And
yeah, it's up there.
It's not. I mean, it's not even research. That's just like a fact. They've been averaging 48 points. So I mean, you look at that. You look at that, and against Tennessee,
it's not even research. It's a fact.
Theoretically, they should put up at least 48 freaking points right there. So, and if Tennessee, like Frank said, stay in the 20s, that'll hammer the over. Obviously, Bama straight up. I don't like the 21.5 line at all. I think it's going to end up right around there. I think that's a give or a take. Go either way. I'm staying away from that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think, again, basically, I'm having like the same logic as the last game where Bama's going to win just because they're Bama. But I think Tennessee covers. I don't like the over-under. I think Tennessee keeps a kind of a low-scoring game. They're playing like a new quarterback. They're not playing like Guarantano. They may be playing Shroud. I don't know. So I just don't like that game. I guess I've just picked against Bama every game this year. I'm just going to keep sticking with it till it hits one time. I've been wrong like every time, I think. But I just hate Bama. So
Yeah, no, I don't like that game. I agree.
All right. One of our bigger games of the week, at least for Frank.
Whoa.
Number 3, Notre Dame. They're undefeated. 10-point favorites over Pitt. 3-3. Pitt's kind of struggled recently. They started out strong, looked pretty good, and they've definitely faltered. Over under 42.5. Joe, I'll let you go first.
Hammer the over. And that you heard it here first, folks.
Agreed.
Hammer that over.
Love it.
Spain, what is he thinking taking the under at 42.5? I don't care. It's a college football game. Notre Dame, Pitt, they're going to come out firing at each other. Hammer the over. Notre Dame, there's no way they're losing to Pitt. And that's it on that game.
I agree. Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame wins big. I think Pitt stinks. They don't have Pickett, who is not good. They're back.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that.
Those two stink. They are really bad. And I thought Pickett was bad. Those two are horrible. I think Notre Dame might score 42 on their own.
I agree.
Easily cover. Sorry, Frank. As the biggest Pitt fan around who takes them every week, I can't anymore. It's Notre Dame, and I hate Notre Dame. That's almost as bad as Michigan.
The only thing I took Pitt on this year was the over last week, and it hit, so I like that.
Fair.
My turn.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Frank.
All right, you kept it short and sweet for me, so I won't do the same. Look, man, coming from a diehard Pitt fan,
Got research on
there's
this.
nothing that explains Pitt in this year. Just getting your hopes up and letting you down. Hard. Start off 3-0, big expectations season, great defense, lose 3 in a row. I mean, lost NC State at home, go to Boston College, lose, and then lose to Miami, which is, I'm okay with the Miami one. I'm not okay with the other ones. But I think they should fire Narduzzi and all that, and they're just not a good football. They're not playing good football right now. They're an average college football program, above average college football program. With all that being said, Pitt is winning this game Saturday. Everybody says, I am telling you right now, this is it. I mean, you got to look at Pitt. Look at history. Do your research, Joe. Miami comes in, beats them. What were they? Miami was 2, beats them. Go to Clemson. They were 2, beats them. West Virginia was 2, beats them. Virginia beats them. This is the game. This is it. This is the one they win. I don't think Notre Dame's that good. I think they're overrated.
I agree.
Agreed. Yeah.
After the Louisville game last week, I agree they're overrated.
And even
but
I really think I truly believe in my heart that Pitt wins this game. I really do. And I'll be shocked. I don't see them Notre Dame putting up 42. I think Pitt's defense is still good. They may not be. I think they have a good defense. They kept them in the game last week. Their offense is horrible. I agree. I think Pitt wins this game, and I would lock. This is my one lock of the week. I am locking 10.5 on Pitt, because if they do lose, it's going to be close. I truly believe in my heart. If they get murdered, I'm done. I mean, Drew, you know that feeling being a Browns fan. I'm done if they get murdered. But I think they're winning this game. I really do think they're winning this game.
That's I think his book is horrible and should not be near the NFL. But I think he just does enough, because I think Pitt's defense hasn't been that good. They get turnovers. It's like the Browns, they still give up a ton, but they get some nice turnovers, and that's what keeps them.
I mean, it definitely. I mean, they were supposed to be way better, but their defensive alignment opted for the NFL, and that hurt. But I'm not saying Pitt's good. I was over that when they lost NC State, and you know that, Drew. But I think they win this game. I really think they win.
If I am looking at it from a different perspective, Pitt 3-0 to start, 3 straight losses after that. Nothing to lose this game. They might as well come out firing.
Listen, they're letting the young.
That's what I was thinking, but I just.
They're letting the young Yinzers back into Heinz Field. The Iron City beer's gonna be flowing.
Notre Dame.
They're winning this game.
They're overrated. Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Sorry, Drew.
No, I agree. I hate Notre Dame. Agreed. Hate Notre Dame. They suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. By no means a Notre Dame fan.
Pitt's a
fuck problem. You, Spain.
Yeah.
We're winning. Hail to Pitt. Hail to Pitt. Let's go.
All right. Next game. It's a fun one. Number 17, Iowa State. Number 6, Oklahoma State. They both kind of been underwhelming in the sense. Oklahoma, they are undefeated. They're 3-0, but they've looked horrible in 3 games.
Terrible.
Chuba Hubbard, Heisman hopeful, has been quiet or hurt all year, and I like Brock Purdy way more for Iowa State. That dude's good. He's an NFL QB. I'm taking Iowa State. Iowa State +3. Over 52 in the Big 12 every single day of the week. I'll take that. That's all I got.
All I had, nothing much on this game. I wouldn't put your money down just because there's two good teams going against each other. You never know what's going to happen. Only thing I had is Oklahoma State. They've had some time off. QB had an ankle injury, if I'm not mistaken. He's had some time to rest it. I think he's going to be in the rotation, is what I've heard. I'd take Oklahoma State and also -3. I think if they're going to win, it's going to be by 7 or more, 6, 7 or more. So I got Oklahoma State. Wouldn't put much money down on this one though.
I'm with Joey on this. It's funny we just talked about Pitt and always letting me down. I feel like every time I turn on the TV, Iowa State's like ranked and they lose to someone like every time. So I think Oklahoma State's going to win this game, and I'm with Joey too. I'm -3 for Oklahoma State. That's all I have to say. Really,
if they're going to win, it's going to be more than 3. So
yeah, and I think Oklahoma State's going to win. But yeah.
All right, next up, this is like the one game I just don't understand the line. And maybe that's why I'm just like so like afraid of this game. Number 8, Penn State. They're only 6.5-point favorites at Indiana. Over under 62.5. Indiana did just have like their first 8-win season in who knows how long. They kind of looked pretty decent and they played Penn State well last year. So I'm gonna go under. I think both defenses just show up there. It's probably gonna be cold. It's Indiana. I'll take Penn State straight up, but Indiana might cover or win in an upset there.
I was surprised to see you not take that -6.5, Drew.
Yeah, it just feels too easy. There's something. I feel like there's something wrong there.
I agree, but
I'm going Penn State, and I'm going minus Penn State 6.5. And I do like the under, Drew. I didn't really pay attention to that lower in the list, but I would go with the under. And Indiana. Okay, Penn State's supposed to be good. Let's find out. I don't really have much to say about this game either. So Joey, go ahead.
As Frank said, I didn't pay much attention to the under 2, but now that Drew mentioned it, under 62.5, Penn State coming out. Indiana's, if I'm mistaken, they're not really known to put up big numbers, correct? No, yeah, I didn't think so. So under maybe a hit. I like Penn State straight up, obviously. I don't think Indiana's going to come up with the upset here, but that line, it looks like Penn State hammer that -6.5, but maybe not. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right, next game. This is my lock of the week. Michigan's 3-point favorites over Minnesota, over under 54. I know you're shocked to hear that from me.
Yeah.
Minnesota lost everything but their quarterback. They still have one receiver. I don't know if he ever opted back in. They lost Antonio Winfield at safety last year. They had their touchdown target. I think it was Rashard Bateman. They lost a lot, and I think they're overrated. I think PJ Fleck is awesome as a coach, but Michigan is my lock of the week. And then if they lose, I can just complain about Michigan more. So it's a win-win for me.
That's fair. That's fair.
Joe, what you got?
Me, let's see. Also, Michigan straight up. Michigan -3. I agree. That line's insane. I think they're counting on Michigan too much, especially, 18 ranked. They could probably even be lower if they're being generous. So definitely, I don't know if I call it my lock of the week, but I'd say that's a very safe play in Michigan and Michigan -3.
I don't know if anyone knows. Is Minnesota wearing those really cool helmets, though?
They have 6 helmets sometimes.
If they wear the sick helmets, cancel that as a lock of the week. Those are winning helmets. So
Pitt's wearing their sick uniform.
That don't matter.
Oh.
That doesn't count. Yeah.
I'm going Michigan.
Not as fun when you're a losing team now, huh? Not as fun now. It's nice. I like college football where my team's on top. It's great. Pitt sucks. Ohio State's great. It's just year after year.
And
I just love it.
Don't start another argument. Yeah, I'm going Michigan. I mean, you know,
You don't
Big
like it
Ten.
though.
I don't like. I don't trust Harbaugh, and that's because I don't like his brother. But yeah, I Michigan always loses games that they aren't supposed to lose, and um, I think they're gonna win. But I mean, I don't know anything about Minnesota. Jake took Minnesota. Uh, I'm going -3 because obviously if Michigan wins, it's gonna be by more than 2 points.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Michigan gets it done.
All right. Well, that's that game.
Quick side note: hate the over under there. Hated.
Agreed.
I looked at it for a few minutes. I mean, I hated that 54.
I definitely stay away from that one. Last game, I think this might be game of the week. It might be Michigan. I don't know. Number 9, Cincy, 3-0. Luke Fickle, my boy. Number 16, SMU. They're 5-0. 2.5-point favorites at home. Over under 55.5. I got to roll with Fickle. He's my Ohio State guy. I'll take them Cincy plus 2.5. Give me those couple extra points. And I think Cincy's defense would show up. I'd lean the under, but I'm not going to put it on my card. No, definitely going to keep it off. But I'd lean the under, especially if Cincy wins. So that team is a good defense, and they're a legit team.
To piggyback off that, Cincy defense, unreal. Saw a stat, 7 interceptions through 3 games. I know they haven't faced much talent yet, and SMU's got it, but I really think
Michelle is legit at QB though.
yeah,
For SMU.
no, he is. I really think Cincy's going to prevail here. Cincy straight up. I took the over 55.5. I did a little look into their
So
past
Cincy's
games.
defense is legit, but not legit.
They're legit, but their offense is legit too. So I'm taking the over. I'm like the over. I'm not saying to lock it or anything, but that's what I have as the over.
I'm going with those boys. SMU, baby. I'm going SMU all day. I don't think I think Cincy's okay. I don't think they're all 9th team in the country. The defense is good. Their defense is good, but I don't think they can stop this SMU offense, which leads to my next point. I'm taking the over 55.5. I think SMU wins this game. I really do. And I think it's going to be a shootout. I don't think their defense is that good. And I'm taking SMU, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just don't see that one going into a shootout. That's why. That's why I like the under.
I think since defense is gonna bend, not break.
Personally, for me, I just feel like every time I look at SMU, they have like 50 points on the board. So
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah.
All right. Last thing before we get into top 10s, we got our bonus picks. I love Boston College -3.5. Love. That would be my lock of the week if Minnesota is wearing gold helmets. And then I gotta roll with the Schiano man, Greg Schiano, Rutgers. I will bet Rutgers every game this year. I'll take that spread. Okay. I love Rutgers. I don't care.
Shout out K-Ron, baby.
Oh yeah,
Adams, baby. Think to that.
Crushed us in sports.
I didn't really look into this. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just kind of looked up college football games and picked one that popped up, and Miami popped up, so I put them on there. They're playing Virginia. They're winning this game. I mean, Virginia's 1-4, line 13.5. I'm putting that down. They're winning. I think they're gonna dominate Virginia. But yeah, so that's my game.
So I did look into Air Force a little. Air Force -6.5. So they came out against Navy this year. They've had a game under their belt. And what is that? The Midwestern? No.
Yeah, Mountain West.
Mountain West Conference. Hasn't played yet. They're coming back this week. However, Air Force has against Navy, dominated Navy. Also, San Jose State. You're laughing, Frank, but I'm telling you, this is a lock. This is my lock of the week.
No, I was laughing at the Midwestern.
That's fair. I messed that up. Mountain West, my man. San Jose State got relocated due to COVID protocol. Bang, bang. Missed out on a bunch of practice. I think Air Force is going to kill San Jose State here. Air Force got a multifaceted run game, and I think they're going to kill them. 2+ scores easily. -6.5, lock it. Auburn -3.5. Basically saw Spain take that one. Looked it up, liked it.
Who they play?
I forget who Auburn plays this week.
All right.
I just saw Spain take it, and I liked it.
Well, Let me find out who Auburn plays real quickly.
Hold on, I have it on here.
They're playing Ole Miss. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
almost
also add.
this year.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna add 2 picks to my card right now. I'm gonna
Taking
take
Ole Miss in
San
that
Jose
game.
State, San Jose State plus 6.5, and I'm also gonna take Ole Miss plus 3.5. I think San Jose
Yep.
State. They're gonna show heart after.
San Jose State.
Yeah, since they relocated, I think they're gonna show heart and determination, and go beat Air Force. And then Ole Miss. I mean, Lane Kiffin's awesome, so he's gonna put up points. Auburn stinks. Bo Nix stinks.
I'm on Drew. Ole Miss is winning this
So
game.
you guys are completely against my 2 locks of the week.
Yes, that's exactly what I just added to my card.
I am completely against Auburn. I think that's a bad pick. I think Ole Miss is winning. I thought
Auburn's
they played.
bad.
I thought they played. I mean, just going back to the Alabama game, I thought they played them tough for a little bit, and I think Auburn's on freaking Alabama, and I think Ole Miss is a good team, and they had a tough schedule. Who they opened? They opened up with someone tough too.
They were. Let me see. Ole Miss was at Kentucky. They somehow won that one magically. Bama came. They were about literally a onside kick away from beating Bama. They had them on the ropes the entire game.
Who was the first game? Who they played first?
Oh crap! They didn't play Kentucky first. They played Florida first and put up a lot of points and lost.
I think they're gonna win. I think they're winning. I think I got Ole Miss.
Air Force is Drew, honestly, San Jose State.
Just simply because you have Air Force, no other reason.
Oh, okay. All right.
I simply heard your 2 lock of the weeks, and I am fading both of your lock of the weeks. Positive on them.
Okay, Auburn, I cannot assure you on, but Air Force minus 6.5. That.
Yeah. All right. San Jose State. All right. Let's go into top 10s. Who wants to do their top 10 first?
I'm not doing mine first.
I'll do mine since I'll take all the criticism here. I'll do mine.
All
right. Look, I got one Clemson. I just really think I mean they dominate everybody they play. I thought that win over Miami was pretty convincing, and they have the best quarterback in college football. 2, Bama. It's Bama. I mean, they're always going to be there.
Yeah.
3, Ohio State.
Hey, friends.
Yeah.
The Ohio State University.
Higher than the experts.
Yeah. You know, they're better than Notre Dame. I'm sorry. For Notre Dame, I think they're overrated as hell. 5, Penn State, because I hate Penn State. But you know, I think they're supposed to have a good year. I think that they play Ohio State, right?
Week 2.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. I think whoever wins that game jumps into the top 4, obviously. And depending on the score, one will drop significantly. And obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with the Big Ten schedule. They really don't have room for mistake, if you know what I'm talking about, like one cancellation. So that's huge. That's big. 6, Georgia. I know you guys might not like that, but I think Georgia's still a good football team. I think they're better than all the teams that I have behind them. I think they're actually better than Penn State. I really do. It's just that Penn State doesn't have to go play Alabama the 3rd week of the season, which is tough.
Ohio State the 2nd week.
Yeah, but I'm also always taking an SEC conference game over a Big Ten conference game. I'm sorry.
Yeah. This isn't 2008 anymore.
I don't know, because I'm always taking SEC. I just always am. When it comes down to Big Ten and SEC, I'm taking SEC all day. I mean, I'm sorry. I just am.
The Big Ten's the great conference now, though. Like SEC's like
they're good.
SEC's
they're good.
Like 100 a game now.
But you have teams like the Minnesotas that shouldn't be ranked that are ranked because they're in the Big Ten.
And Auburn's ranked and shouldn't be ranked.
They ride both of them, but they ride the Big Ten. I'm sorry, they do. They don't win in bowl games. I think the last year, one of the years was the first year they finally won in bowl games. And I stood up and was like, I am wrong. The Big Ten was not overrated.
Like the year before, I think last year we were a little over 500, and the year before we had 1 loss, and that was just Michigan, because Michigan sucks.
Terrible.
I don't know. I just don't think. Yeah, Michigan does suck, and I'm not arguing with that. But Georgia definitely I could definitely see Georgia climbing and maybe sneaking back into the top 4 if someone messes up like a Notre Dame this week, which is going to happen. 7, Oklahoma State. Don't really know much about them, but they're explosive. 8, Cincy, even though I do think Cincy is going down this week, and I think because of that, I think Texas A&M, who I have at 9, is going to make a jump, and 10 BYU, because no offense, BYU. That's just my thing. If you speak to me, I'm a big conference and strength of schedule type guy. I do my rankings off who I think the best teams are, not necessarily what their records are.
Yeah.
If you see what I'm saying there. So I think my top 3 are pretty good. Clemson, Bama, OSU, those are the 3 best teams in college football. And I think it's a really significant drop after that, honestly. And that's my big thing. And I think that 4 spots up for grabs. But that's my top 10 this week.
Yeah, no, I think if you have Clemson, Bama, OSU in any order, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Just whatever your eye test says is the better team. Of course, Ohio State hasn't shown up. If Ohio State only beats Nebraska by 10 to 14 points, they're the number 3, maybe even a number 4 type team.
No, I still think they're 3. As much I hate that, but I still think they're 3. I just don't.
All right, Jay, you want to go or do you want me to go?
Up to you.
All right, I'll just take it. So I got Clemson number 1. I think Ohio State's better. Clemson doesn't really have the downfield threat anymore like Ohio State. Ohio State's receivers are so good this year. We'll torch them. But you got to beat them.
Wait. You're going to torch Clemson.
Yes, we torched them last time. We got screwed out of that game.
I completely agree.
What's today's date?
Mess Clemson.
All right, October 23rd, boys. Drew Terrian said we will torch Clemson.
We will torch Clemson. I'm positive. This is the best Ohio State team of my life.
Joey Vitale said that too. Torch them.
Torch them.
All right, boys.
Is not that good. Clemson's the 3rd best team in the country, but
I heard this last year too. Sorry,
we got screwed. These SEC refs, they didn't want us to face LSU. They were way too scared of us.
Go ahead, go.
Clemson will be ahead of Ohio State all year until we beat them. I don't care where I have Ohio State. Clemson could lose 4 games. They will be 1 spot below Clemson until we beat them. And I won't do that unless we win a national title while avoiding them. Bama's number 3 simply because they're not Ohio State. Their defense has been flawed all year. Any team with a decent tight end has just attacked them down the middle. I don't think
their defense is flawed. Yeah, I agree with that. Actually, their defense is very flawed.
Mac Jones has actually been really good when you put pressure on him, but no one's hit him really. Georgia was.
I want him. Speaking of, I like that kid.
Mac Jones, you like him?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he needs to face a legit defense first.
Yeah.
Whoever is the number 1 seed this year, for the college football playoffs, has a huge advantage because you don't have to face one of those top 3. The 2 and 3 seed are going to be. That's the tough spot because number 4 is going to be a step down.
Absolutely, 100% agree.
Number 4, I just hate putting Notre Dame there, but Penn State hasn't played, so Penn State's half their team sitting out, so I don't trust them. Oklahoma State's 6.
Don't trust them.
Don't trust them at all. I hate that. Georgia 7. I trust them way more than Oklahoma State, but they have that loss, and I just can't put them above Oklahoma State because they're undefeated. And I know they're gonna want to do it this year where they're gonna have a 2-loss SEC team, and they're gonna want to put them over the Big 12 because they're just so bad this year. But I won't. I have morals. That's my line. Georgia 7.
That's where we disagree. But go ahead.
Yeah, BYU. I got them at 8. Those Mormons. They're not having any sex. They got a lot of built up adrenaline. They're hitting people this year. Zach Wilson, that QB's legit. He's an NFL dude. Maybe a first second day guy. Love him.
I'm putting them in my top 4 just because you said that.
Yeah. Cincy, I love Luke Fickell. I already said that. I think they're better than SMU. They'll probably stay right there even with a win. And then A&M 10. I think Florida's still better than them, even though Texas A&M beat them. But just out of respect, they won. Florida's got.
Is that who they beat? I was wondering who the hell they beat. Why they were in the top. They beat Florida.
They beat Florida, and
because I was under a rock this last Saturday.
You're talking about Texas A&M, right?
Yes.
I'll get into them, but I couldn't even put them in my top 10.
Yeah, and then right on the fringe, other than Florida, I got Florida, Wisconsin, and Kent State. Those are my 11, 12, 13s. Dustin Crum, Kent State. Enough said. Jay?
What'd you say?
Yeah, Kent State's at 13. Once they win a game, they'll probably jump in my top 10. So. Right now. Yeah, just go, Joe.
All right. Let's
I'm about to
continue
roast
up
this kid.
then.
Go ahead.
Clemson, OSU, Bama. Obviously, as Drew said, Clemson's going to be number 1 until OSU proves otherwise. I got OSU at number 2, Bama 3, all powerhouses of college football. Nobody else is near them. I could not get myself to put Notre Dame at 4 after what they did last week. No chance. Had to put Georgia there.
Oh, no, you didn't. Never mind. I was reading Spain's. My bad.
Say it, Frank. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna wait till after. I'll just wait.
Yeah, just go through it first. Then we'll critique it.
Wait, that's fine. 12-7 against Louisville. Aren't they 1-4? Are you kidding me? A 12-7, and you're gonna put them in the top 4 against Louisville, who's 1-4? No, couldn't do it.
They
He's frozen. Just go, Joe.
won. Just go, because I'm gonna argue this pretty hard. So just go.
I'm saying 12-7 against a 1-4 Louisville. Anywho, 5 Notre Dame. Okay, that's fine. They're good. 6 Frank.
Just go. No, just go. Just go.
Yeah. 6 Penn State. They haven't proven anything yet. Solid roster. I think they're going to have a great year. They'll end up at 5. Oklahoma State, as I think Frank also said, don't know much about them. Obviously a solid team. 8, I have Cincy. I have them this week. As Drew said, I like Fickle. I think they're going to ball out this year. They're going to end up top 6 probably. BYU, whatever. I think they're good. Sure. Miami 10. I do. I like them. I cannot put Texas A&M. Slaughtered by Bama. Barely beat Vanderbilt this week. Texas A&M cannot be in my top 10.
But you could put a Miami who got slaughtered by Clemson.
Yeah,
but you can put a Miami who's
number 1 and they're unreal this year.
And Bama's 2.
What's your point?
I just don't see Miami's not a 10. Miami's not my 10 team in the country.
I'm not going to lie. I was struggling with the 10, but I can't put Texas A&M there after they beat 17-12 against Vanderbilt.
Okay, I'm not as okay.
No,
I'm not as.
They just faced Mississippi State.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Texas A&M was it first game of the season, 17-12 against Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
it's the first game of the season. It's
Vanderbilt.
So they beat good teams. Miami hasn't played anybody.
So if Ohio State beats Nebraska this week, 17-12, are you going to still say that?
I'm going to say they're still one of the top 3 teams in the country.
And then the week after they face Penn State, they go beat Penn State.
And they beat Penn State, then yes, they're still the top team in the country.
Okay, I can't do that with A&M though. I don't think they've proven it.
It's matchups. And the fact that you have Georgia in your 4 already, how
do you have Notre Dame?
That's insane. They haven't lost.
12-7 against Louisville.
Louisville was ranked earlier in the year. Louisville's not a horrible team. And the teams play bad. And back to what Drew just said, if OSU wins 17-12 and Nebraska has starts 1-4, what are you going to be like? Oh yeah, OSU's 6 because they lost or they beat Nebraska 17-12.
6, but I don't know if I could put OSU in my top 3 anymore.
Well, who would you put above them even?
What?
OSU's not going to lose 12-7, so I don't have to worry about that.
So wait, let's get this straight. So you would put if OSU, let's say OSU won 12-7, or no, let's say they won 12-7 to Nebraska this week. They're 4-0.
Okay,
they're 4-0. Nebraska's 1-3.
Okay.
Okay. Notre Dame's or Georgia has 1 loss. You would put Georgia over Ohio State.
This depends on other games. I have to see what other teams do.
That's basically what you just did. You put Georgia over. Georgia over Notre Dame based on the fact that Notre Dame won by 5 points last weekend.
That's correct.
What if it was 42-37? Would you still have put Georgia over Notre Dame?
Probably. If they would have let Louisville put up 37 on them.
Dude, that's insane to me. I just can't see that. Drew, what do you think?
That's
Georgia's overrated. Who have they beat? No, they beat
Notre
like
Dame's overrated too. You guys said
I
it
think-
earlier in the show.
but they're undefeated at least.
Yeah, but they're undefeated.
So they're overrated, but you guys still rated them high. I don't understand that.
There's nowhere else to
Because
put
they
them.
haven't lost.
You could put them right behind Georgia.
But
Who
Georgia
they
lost. They got
Who have
smoked.
they lost to? Who have they lost to, Joey? Who's
Who?
Notre Dame lost to? Who's Notre Dame lost to?
They haven't.
How many losses does Georgia have?
One.
So there it is.
Oh, that. So you're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, that one.
That's it. No, that's it. That's it. You're gonna base off one loss. Then.
But what's Georgia done this year to be
This
better than Notre
early
Dame?
in the season? Yes, I'm basing it off one loss this earlier in the season, especially
That's
when
fine.
the one loss
I'm
was to
just
someone
saying.
that was good.
I'm just saying Notre Dame looked awful last week. I could not. I tried to get him in my top 4. I could not get myself to do it.
So if there's like the last
We'll
the
see
last
what they
week of the
do
year.
this week against.
No, wait.
You have Pitt beating them this week, and you have them in your top 4. How is that logical?
Because they're undefeated and it hasn't played yet. They haven't played yet.
What are you talking about? That doesn't even make sense. You have an unranked Pitt team beating your top 4 team.
That has nothing to do with my rank. Yeah, because they haven't lost to Pitt yet.
But you have Pitt beating them, so you're saying they're beatable by an unranked team.
They are beatable.
Okay, so then how are they in your top 4 if they're beatable?
That's not how the
by
rankings
Pitt?
work, Joey. They don't look at the
That's
college
how
football
I'm
playoff.
looking at it.
They don't look at the college football playoff and be like, "Oh yeah, Ohio State's 4, but you know what? They're beatable, and Notre Dame's not. So let's put Notre
Because
Dame."
by the
in
time the
because
college
Ohio
football
State's beatable."
playoffs around, the regular season's practically over.
All right, Joe, I got a question.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You have Pitt over Notre Dame this week.
Yeah, this weekend they're gonna lose.
Okay.
And then guess what? Notre
Okay.
Dame is not going to be my top 4 because
Where-
they have a loss.
Where are
And
you going to have
Georgia's
Notre
not my
Dame then
top 4
after Pitt
because they have a
supposedly
loss.
beats them? Where are you going to have them?
Because they have a loss.
Where are you going to have them though after Pitt supposedly beats them?
Probably like 8 or 9, or not
Okay,
even in the top
okay.
10.
Okay,
Probably not even in the top 10.
I was just making sure.
Notre Dame won't be in my top 10 the rest of this year if they lose this game.
But
they're
guess what? If they win, where are they going to be, Joey? Where are they going to be?
You tell me. It's not my list.
They're going to be right where they are right now.
Okay.
If all the other teams win. If all the other teams win. And it doesn't matter if they win 9-8 or fucking 48-8.
But
They're going to be 4th.
you showing that you think they're beatable by Pitt, yet they're still in your top 4.
Joey, your
that's
14 just lost by 28
That's
or
discrepancy.
something crazy.
That's
They
discrepancy.
lost by 28.
Wait, Joe, I got a question for you.
I'll answer it if I can.
Why do you think Georgia's better? What has Georgia done? Their best,
Thank you, Drew.
their best win is a 20-point loss to Alabama.
Listen, I already said my point of view.
They won
I
that
could
first
not-
half.
I could not put
They're
Notre
the fourth
Dame.
team, like put them in the
in my
playoff. They won the
top
first
4.
half.
This is my only reasoning. I'm not saying it's great. I could not put Notre Dame in my top 4 after winning 12-7 against Louisville. I just couldn't.
But you could put a Georgia team that lost by 20 in there.
I'd rather put that Georgia team. Who'd they lose to? Tell me.
Bama. Stetson Bennett
Bama.
stinks though. He's a terrible
Okay.
QB.
They lost to Bama, who's at 1 or 2 in all of our lists.
Okay, all
I'd
right.
rather put
I
them
wait, Drew, hold on.
over-
I got one. Drew, I got one. I got one. Why is it Miami 4th then?
Who'd Miami lose to?
Clemson.
Because they haven't proven themselves. They haven't played as good team.
That is the same thing,
They
Joey.
haven't played as good
Jay-
team. That's why Miami, and you're partially right. That's why Miami's in my top 10 and it's in none of your guys's.
Who has Georgia proven themselves against?
Everybody else.
Yeah, I don't think Georgia hasn't done anything. They played. I mean, Tennessee kept it close. They beat them up in
Notre
the second
Dame
half.
hasn't really done anything either. Then what have they done?
They've won.
So is freaking Georgia.
They lost by 28.
Alabama.
This is insane.
To Alabama.
And Miami lost to Clemson.
Yeah, you're right. That's why
So
they're in my
what's the
top 10.
difference? They're 10th, not 4th. I'm not saying Georgia's a top 10 team. Don't get me wrong.
Yes, I understand that. But you're
But they're
saying why
not
is
fourth.
Miami not a top 10 team?
I'm just saying you can't put them over Notre Dame. You can't. Until Notre Dame loses, you can't.
Georgia beat like Auburn, who's not even that good now. They smoked Auburn, then they handled Tennessee, and then they got thumped. They didn't lose by 20. Actually, it was just 17. So we'll hate on.
Look, I have Georgia at 6. Like I'm not totally against like Georgia being ranked like low. You know what I mean? Like I still think they're pretty good, but the fact that they're in the top 4 is just insane to me. I just don't see that. You can't. I mean that's insane. I mean Spain has them 6. Drew has them 6. I mean, we all have them 6, but you have them in the playoff right now, which with a loss when there's undefeated teams there, like a Notre Dame. Like,
what's he doing? You're just like random at him, and he's just walking. He sees a little Patagonia shirt. He thinks he's all cool. He's just walking. He looks so lost. He looks like a little lost puppy right now.
I got a noise complaint because I was proving my damn point so loud.
How did you get a noise complaint?
I was out on the lanai or the terrace, whatever.
What happened? Damn, we can't party there.
I know, right?
What did you? What? Who said something?
We all disagree on it. You guys made your points. I've made mine. I refuse to put Notre Dame in my top 4.
You can ignore that you just got a noise complaint.
Oh yeah, that's all right.
All right.
What did they say?
You're screaming. You have to go inside, sir. Okay. He said, listen, man, this is the At the Lunch Table podcast. All right. This is opening week, ma'am. I don't know what you want me to do here. Lots of emotions going on, especially with this argument.
So if Notre Dame wins this weekend, you're not putting them in your top 4 still.
Did I say that?
I'm asking you.
No, I'm not sure yet because I haven't seen the game this week.
He's fair there, Frank. If they win
That's
convincing, they could move up.
They could
Or
definitely
as
move up if they don't win 12-7.
All right.
What if is Oklahoma State undefeated?
Yeah.
What if Oklahoma State wins convincingly? Are they the
You
4th
can't
team?
ask me these questions, Frank. I have to analyze every team's. No, Drew, back me up here. This is fair. I have to look at.
No, if Oklahoma State thumps Iowa State, they're top 4. They're right in that top 4 for me.
Yeah, are they a top 4 team or is Georgia still a 4th?
They're close. I'd have to look. You can't ask me on the spot.
By my calculator, they lost by 4.
Frank, what's your top 5 next week if this happens? Like that's what you're asking me right now.
Yeah, if what? And I'll tell you.
Okay, what happens if let's see, Bama loses next week? Where are they? Like,
probably 6 or 7.
Okay, you're just throwing out numbers. You're not even thinking about it. That's what you're asking me to do. That's what you're asking me to do right now.
You asked me the question and I answered. That's usually what happens there.
See, I'd have to look at the games.
All right.
Oh, they played good. They're 3rd, even though they lost.
Yes.
Joey's logic. Joey's logic. They only lost by 1, so they're 3rd.
Lunch table will ride with me, don't you?
I'm done. I'm done with that.
You guys got anything else to argue about? Any just non-college football, anything?
About wraps her up.
All right.
I'm good.
Well, this is just going to be on YouTube this week. Maybe next week it will be lucky enough to be on podcasts anywhere you can get them. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on the Lake Sports. Rate it 5 stars when it's on podcast. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll be back.
Go Pit, baby.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.